NBA preseason, just a warm-up to begin another fascinating 82-game season filled with lots of blood, sweat, and tears, the hard work, players battling through injuries just to push through the grind, having a chance to play in the playoffs, competing for a title. The best guys knows the league inside out. Superstars aren't going to ball out too much in meaningless games, but a little bit of basketball gives us an impression on how some of the brightest coming young stars will perform. Lower draft picks, mixed team regret not taking them sooner. How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. Here are 10 rookies impressing everybody this preseason. Starting with Benedict Mathurin of the Indiana Pacers, a team in the Victor sweepstakes. The 6th pick out of Arizona at 6'7", came while playing 3 games in Summer League, averaged 19.3 points before having a sore left toe. The first Pacer draftee to be chosen in the single digits since the 80s due to the team either being in the postseason or just very mediocre. Came off the bench 15 points his first preseason game, shown skills as a rim attacker, made 4 of his 5 shots from inside 3 feet, very slithery in the paint, played decent on D, picked up where he left off versus the Knicks, 19 points, 5 boards and a steal. In nearly 18 minutes, very active offensively, from his timely cuts to hitting threes, will certainly get lots of chances to play big minutes. A good approach as a 20-year-old. Rick Carlisle seems to like him, looks for opportunities to get easy buckets. There will be times where vets slack off in the regular season. The small forward will look to capitalize on those opportunities. Don't be shocked to see double-digit scoring numbers from a below-average team, which can allow him to become a true candidate for Rookie of the Year contention. Tari Eason of the Houston Rockets, the 17th pick out of Cincinnati and LSU, 6'8" forward, 21 years old. Coach John Lucas has super high praises for his rookie, calls him a better version of Dennis Rodman. 2 very promising exhibition games. Lucas had his first head coaching job with the Spurs in the early 90s. A guy you don't have to run plays for, but you can pencil in the 16 to 18 points for him, and he's getting better, crashes the glass, runs the floor, gets steals, given there's still a full 82-game season left. After leading all scorers with 24 points, 8 boards in 25 minutes, a 116-100 win over the Raptors, the leading scorer for his team's first 2 games, the hustle and energy contagious, a step in the right direction for the rebuilding franchise, missed the 3 but got the putback for the bucket, 22.5 points a game and 9 rebounds. Although the Rockets will likely finish in the bottom of the West standings next season, they can be back in the postseason in the blink of an eye, can be just 1 more year away before contending for the play-in spot in 2024. A luxury for any team, having a guy to accidentally score 20 points without having any plays run for him at times. You can't teach effort and heart, a tool some just have. Being his size and having a knack for the game, Rockets trending in the right direction. Keegan Murray of the Sacramento Kings, the struggling franchise who hasn't made the postseason in over 16 years. Fans haven't been this optimistic about the team in a very long time, now looking like they will have something building for the near future. Special and a player he played like in his college days, joined his preseason debut against the Lakers, efficient and under control, compliments the likes of the 2 faces of the franchise, De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis. 7 of 11 from the field, 16 points, 6 boards, just 20 minutes, already plays like a 10-year vet. Active and good awareness, whether it's breaking up a lob, spotting up in the corner, or picking off lazy passes for a breakaway dunk. Sacramento hasn't been too proud of their former lottery picks over the last 2 decades, but Murray, multi-dimensional, can fit into most roles, doesn't seem overwhelmed by the big moments, nothing negative that can hurt the team. You might not see him have crazy dunks like Jaden Ivey, or make people look silly like Jabari Smith. Also had a 16-point game on 5 of 6 from deep versus the Blazers. Jabari Smith Jr., the 3rd pick by the Houston Rockets, there were heavy talks about him being picked first until a few hours before the draft, where Orlando selected Paolo. At 6'10", the 19-year-old has a feel offensively similar to KD, despite playing just 1 game in a 38-point win over the Spurs. A game-high 21 points, 5 of 8 shooting from 3, improved his shooting throughout the last couple months. Having a good reputation early on as a hard worker, 6 a.m. drills in the summer, played exactly as advertised, showed off the 2-way effort, smooth looking jumper, swamping Christian Wood for the upside rookie, can prove to make a huge difference on the team's defense, given many young rosters lack a defensive presence. Smith's ability can allow his teammates to drive easier, especially in transition, has defensive team potential, a 3-and-D guy being his size at the very minimum, D as in protecting the lane. Rocket fans might already start putting him in the same conversation on D as Evan Mobley. My hot take for Smith Jr. Don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I predict in a couple years, Jabari will be the first ever Defensive Player of the Year winner to also win the 3-point contest. Book that for a Wilson Side Take special. Kenny Lofton Jr. built like an absolute tank, the 20-year-old on a two-way contract with the Memphis Hustle, listed at 6'7", 280. To my knowledge, only Boban, Nurkic, Zion, and Jokic listed heavier. A team that rebuilded in the blink of an eye to having the second best record in the West last season, super unexpected. They were just glad to make the postseason 2021 to competing with the defending champs, a team with a good track record developing prospects. Lofton, one of the most unique looking rookies given his size, body, and guys. Him and Steven Adams on the same team, two players nobody absolutely wants to mess with. Given the injury prone Jarrett Jackson Jr. will be out at least the first several weeks of the season, Lofton, one of the guys competing for playing time, can only be activated for 50 games unless Memphis converts his deal to a standard one. The 17-point preseason debut absolutely has everyone surprised who watched him for the very first time. Reminds me of how Zach Randolph used his size to punish guys, going to work aggressively versus the strong front courts of Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis, and Serge Ibaka. Big Jr. can be a fan favorite and bring back the grit and grind memories. Shaedon Sharpe of the Portland Trail Blazers, the 7th pick, very impressive, showing 4 games, 17 minutes, 10.5 points, averaged nearly 8 rebounds, high-level athleticism, a masterful 27 points on 77% shooting, 3 steals and 2 blocks. After a shoulder injury derailed his Vegas Summer League showcase, young legs and energy needed to inspire the underdog Blazers and a very hungry, loyal Dame Lillard. His summer league and preseason performances might not determine what his numbers could look like come regular season time, but having the ultimate confidence, a path in the right direction, after a struggling 7 points on 2 of 11 from the field his first 2 preseason games, didn't even get a chance to play at Kentucky, came off looking sharp, dominated the team from Israel. Ousmane Dieng of the OKC Thunder, 3 games averages of 10 and 4, the 6'11", 19-year-old from France, plays like a guard, has those perimeter skills put to test, uses his length well on D, great at rotating closeouts and isolation defense for a team still seeking its identity and the constant tanking. Dieng, the 11th pick, can make some noise, while Dyson Daniels of the New Orleans Pelicans, despite an ankle injury, played fantastic, another tool to complement the young and hungry scrappy Pels. After struggling his first game 0 of 5 from 3, but the activity and defensive pressure, especially against the Bulls, 15 points, 5 rebounds, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. Nikola Jovic of the Miami Heat, 3 games, a solid 9.3 point average, traveled to the US for the draft instead of taking one more exam to graduate from secondary school in Serbia. The 27th pick at 19 years young, been prepping to meet requirements to graduate via Zoom. His foot speed, way better than 2-time MVP Nikola Jovic. Obviously good size, athletic ability, and skill, and a great organization that's known for developing its players, finding hidden gems, can even put the ball on the floor and shoot it well. Super promising. I predict Jovic will start several games for the Heat, loving to mix and match throughout the season. Jaden Hardy went off for 21 points versus OKC, 16 in the 4th. The 37 pick spent a year with the G League Ignite, showing his shooting potential, shot creation ability, desperately needed outside of Luka for Dallas. After his summer league game of 28 points, will have some opportunity sharing the floor with Doncic. The 20-year-old brought in the high energy in Mavs practice, hitting the sham god, a potential steal to say the least. While Paolo Banchero has been himself, many already know about him. Jaden Ivey, another big name, will have his up and downs and overcome some bad shooting nights. Thank you so much for watching this video. Which rookies outside the top 5 pick do you consider a sleeper from this previous draft? Let me know in the comments below. I love all of you. See you next time.